Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Podcast, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some stocks on the move today. I'm Nathan Hager, joined by Bloomberg's Kriti Gupta on what looks to be a down day for stocks this morning. Kriti, we have to start with the stock that is leading the losses this morning, and that would be Palantir. Good morning.
Good morning, Nathan. Yeah, PLTR really taking a beating this morning, down about 8% in the pre-market trade, trading at about $113 a share. Now, we should put this into context before I give you the reasoning here. That Palantir has been the outperformer in the last 12 months or so. A lot of that has been the AI trades that they've made. A lot of defense contracts have come their way as well. So Palantir has had quite the run. In fact, the correlation with the likes of Tesla have been pretty pronounced. That being said, those shares are down this morning because they, of course, came out with their earnings results yesterday that fell short of Wall Street's expectations. Now, they bumped up their 2025 revenue forecast. We're looking at about $3.9 billion for the full year. That is a 36% jump from last year. So again, some pretty good numbers, but still not good enough. And I think that's kind of the downside of being an outperforming tech company is that you have to have an A++ report card every single time. The problem for this company as well is that they have a lot of growth in the United States, but their international businesses aren't seeing as much love, especially right now, given the political climate, but also given the kind of bid for the AI enthusiasm, which is more pronounced in the U.S. than it is abroad as well. So PLTR taking a beating this morning, down about 8%, $113 a share. Nathan, let's talk about another stock on the down low here, and that is Ford Motors, down about 2%, trading just shy of $10 a share. Some scary warnings coming out of Ford here, seeing about a $1.5 billion hit from the tariff agenda. Now, this compares to GM, by the way, which last week reported about a $5 billion hit. So our very own Craig Trudell, who reports on our autos coverage, made a very key point that this impacts kind of the automaker trade in a Ford versus GM, where Ford, relative to GM, is still, in terms of tariff hit, not taking as much of a punch to the gut, if you will. Ford also, however, suspending their guidance and talking about pressure on their buybacks as well. So not a great story coming out of Ford, although perhaps lightly expected, which is why the shares are only down 2% in the pre-market this morning. The ticker is just the letter F. Nathan, we should talk a little bit about some of these other companies that we're watching. DoorDash is going to be one of them. DASH is the ticker this morning. An M&A deal on a Tuesday, the scandal, down about 1.2%. So seeing a little bit of an M&A story
Monday
here.
Continues, okay.
I know, exactly. It's an M&A Tuesday. It doesn't quite have the same ring to it.
Not so much.
But it looks like they've agreed to buy Deliveroo, which is the kind of delivery agent here in the UK, in a $3.9 billion deal. So Deliveroo shares in the UK had surged, and DoorDash as a key kind of the simple M&A transaction. The stock is dropping. So DASH is your ticker there. Nathan, I'm going to wrap it up with an ETF. We don't talk about ETFs very often, but this one's trading in the pre-market. And this is the iShares MSCI Germany Index. So keep an eye on anything Germany related this morning, because Chancellor Friedrich Merz, who was supposed to be Chancellor, has not gained enough confidence for him to actually take that position. A very shock. It's the biggest shock since World War II in terms of that procedure that would get him to that chair. EWG is your ticker, down about 1.5%.
The Stock Movers Podcast from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.